the Xbox Games Showcase. Now, this was a very polarizing thing in the game community from what I've seen. Some people liked what they saw. A lot of people did not like what they saw, and I'm just gonna kind of briefly go over these, and then we can talk about it because there's a lot to talk about here. So first up, they did release a trailer for Halo Infinite. Um, I mean, this here says a lot. Halo Infinite is the biggest and most ambitious Halo game ever created. I mean, we can get into why they shouldn't have done this, but yeah, they touted this game like it's going to be some amazing thing, and it just didn't connect with a lot of people. Um, Now they do say it has a flawless 60 frames per second locked for gameplay. I just think that is setting the bar low these days because I mean PC gamers have been playing 60 frames forever, and I mean the Nintendo has 60 frames. It's just a low bar in my opinion. Um, so you have As Dusk Falls. This is an interactive drama from Interior Night, uh, and then Avowed. This is done by Obsidian, and this is a first-person RPG, and it's set in a fantasy world of Eora. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Now, this is a game that I was looking forward to actually before. I was reading news about this before this showcase. Fable. Now, I'm a huge fan of the Fable series. I love Fable 2. I played the heck out of it on my original Xbox, and I really want to see them do something good with this game. Um, so this is developed for the Series X and Windows 10, and it's coming on Game Pass. Um, Forza Motorsport. This game does actually look impressive. Most of the Forza games do look impressive. This will run at 4K, 60 frames. And this one does have newer ray tracing technology. So that's definitely more of a next gen type game. The Gunk from the creators of the Steam World franchise, we're all big fans of that. Um, so this is an adventure and the puzzle game is challenging puzzles on your quest to unravel the mystery of a forgotten planet while saving it in the process. Fantasy Star Online 2. So I actually have a lot of the older Fantasy Star games. I don't have the newer ones, which really aren't that new at all. But this is something that me and Josie actually talked about in earlier episodes. This is a game that's been being played in Japan for a while, and it looks like, or they've already said that they're bringing it um, to Xbox. So it'll be interesting to see if American players uh, kind of enjoy this type of game. Stalker 2. Uh, this is a first-person shooter and horror game. State of Decay 3. This is done by Undead Labs. The next evolution in State of Decay, and this is a zombie survival game. Tetris Effect Connected. This is just another rehashing of Tetris, probably adding new features and systems into the game. Warhammer 40K Dark Tide. Um, so this is done from the developers of the co-op franchise Vermintide. I don't know if either of you played Vermintide, but it was very well received. In fact, I would say it's probably the most successful Warhammer game in the last, I don't even know, 5, 10 years maybe. The game is uh, it's kind of like Left 4 Dead, where you and a team kind of just fight off hordes of enemies. but it's very satisfying gameplay, first person, and it has melee combat. So yeah, I'll keep an eye out on this. But most of the Warhammer games, they don't fare too well, in my opinion. And then we were talking about this Crossfire X. Um, so this is a fast-paced first-person shooter. Um, Definitely has multiplayer support. I don't know much about this game. Maybe we can bring this up later. And then Destiny 2 has a new expansion, Beyond Light. This is the next chapter. Let's see. Is this okay? So it says Destiny 2 is also coming to Game Pass in September. So that, I mean, they're really loading up on their Game Pass. John, you were talking about Everwild. This is done by Rare, same makers of Donkey Kong. And Everwalt is a brand new game in development from Rare, where unique and unforgettable experiences await in a natural and magical world. Play as an eternal as you explore and build bonds with the world around you. Grounded, also done by Obsidian. This is a co-op survival adventure game. It says it has a narrative-led hook, and it has RPG elements. The medium, let's okay, travel to an old communist resort and use your unique psychic abilities to uncover its disturbing secrets, solve dual reality puzzles, survive encounters with sinister spirits, and explore two realities at the same time. Sounds like an adventure type puzzle type game. So the Outer Worlds Peril on Gorgon. So I am actually playing the Outer Worlds right now. I like it. One of the main complaints in the Outer Worlds was a lack of content. The game could be completed in around 20 to 30 hours. So it's good to see them continuing the game. It's very much similar to Fallout. And this is, but I would say that this is probably going to be on all consoles because I'm playing the Outer Worlds on PS4. So chances are this is not going to be like a big selling point to buy the system itself. Psychonauts 2, I've never played the first one. Josie, did you play the first one?
I have
Okay.
not.
I've
Oh, okay. Okay. So you could probably talk about this. And then tell me why is a Xbox Game Studios exclusive game from Don't Nod Entertainment, and it's the studio created Life is Strange. Okay. So yeah, these are all their summer Game Fest reveals. Now they've been releasing videos on these for a while. Um, so we've already talked about Watch Dogs Legion, so I don't think we have to go over these. And then
Well, some of these are new games that were announced during the event itself or the pre-show.
okay, all right, then I guess we can cover this. Balan Wonderworld. Okay. So this is done by Square Enix. Let's see. The Bizarre Land and Wonderworld, a place where. Okay, let me just play this. Okay, I'm digging this art style. Kind of reminds me of. Oh, actually, no, it doesn't. The characters don't remind me of.
Demon Souls.
I was gonna say Kingdom Hearts. The art style though kind of reminds me.
It's done by a team that worked on Nights into Dreams.
Okay. Okay, so it's a 3D action platformer. Oh, cool. Oh, that kind of reminds me of Spyro. All right, yeah, this game looks pretty cool. All right, Dragon Quest 11 S Echoes of an Elusive Age, and Josie, I know you'll be able to talk about this.
Oh yeah, that's pretty much the same version that came out on the Switch.
Okay.
And it is It's just coming out to another platform, Xbox One, and it should be coming to PlayStation 4 as well after like an exclusivity time, I guess. It's a little unfortunate.
Yeah.
But it's true, and it's just everything they did with the Switch version, which is the orchestrated soundtrack, the 2D overworld slash version of gameplay, and some extra quests,
Okay.
and I believe some extra characters. I could be wrong.
Okay. And then Echo Generation, turn-based action or turn-based adventure game about a gang of kids investigating supernatural occurrences in their small town.
That actually looks really cool. That was one that I was interested in terms of it. Like it's like this really cool voxel art. It looks like something like I don't, if you all remember it, 3D dot game Heroes on the PS3.
I don't remember that.
That was funny enough. That was done by From Software. But it looks like a turn-based RPG of some kind with voxel art. It looks like it takes place like sometime in the 80s, and it has very Stranger Things vibes.
Okay. And then let's see. Exo Mecha Twisted Red is a brand new free-to-play online competitive first-person shooter. So this is another. Looks like it's another battle royale game. So, yeah, these are very. The market is being saturated with these right now. So, not too excited about that. Hello Neighbor 2 is a stealth horror game where you're being stalked by a mysterious creature as you try to track down Mr. Peters. Okay. Play against an advanced self-learning AI that tracks and adapts to your every move. Interesting. And then we've already discussed Watch Dogs Legion here. And then these are just optimized games for the Xbox Series X. So these are games that people already have, and they can play them on the Xbox Series X. Quick note, though, Sea of Thieves actually reached 15 million total players since its inception in 2018. So that I would say that game is probably one of the most successful Microsoft titles that they've had, and especially in this generation.
15, how many?
15 million. 15 million. So
that's recurring players?
No, that's total players, like people who've bought the game. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so because
Sea of Thieves was available. Sea of Thieves was available via Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah.
So those numbers sound fudged.
They sound like people who have logged in and tried the game. I think Josie brings up a valid point. A lot of times, these companies will put out numbers like that to kind of make them seem more successful than they truly are. They'll count people who've logged in and played an hour. They'll count people who've logged in and haven't gone past the title screen, just to kind of bump up their numbers.
Yeah.
So if there are 15 million recurring players that play on a regular basis, that's impressive. Something tells me it's probably not it.
Yeah, no, it's not recurring. Not recurring. Yeah. But the game is popular. A lot of people like it. Okay. So let's get started on this. Now, are there any of the smaller titles you all want to cover before we get into the whole Halo controversy?
For me, the game that really caught my eye, despite not knowing much about how the game plays, is Everwild from Rare.
Okay.
There is a that I used to really like back in the Super Nintendo and the N64 days.
Uh-huh.
That's when I think they were in the heyday. And then once they got brought up by Microsoft, I think their quality of games and sort of their direction just kind of fell by the wayside a bit. But I thought the art style of this game was breathtakingly beautiful. Again, I don't know how it plays. I don't think anybody really knows how it plays. But I think it looks great. And hopefully it's Rare getting back on track and putting out quality content. That's the thing that caught my eye the most. Go ahead.
Can I add something to Everwild?
Yeah.
So John and I watched the this showcase together, and he was commenting on, he was interested in it, and I commented on, like, I like to see some gameplay. I don't know what the hell this game's about. Like it looks good. The art direction is amazing. And then it wasn't until recently that I found out that this game was actually revealed in X19, and it was supposed to release on the Xbox One. And also a recent report on it was that Rare actually doesn't have gameplay. That it's still very much in the conceptual phase. This is a CG cinematic only, and there is no gameplay yet. They're still working out what they want the game to be.
Oh, okay. So it's a bit.
Oh, what a bummer.
Yeah, so I mean, I was already disappointed with the showcase in general, and I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but Everwild might not look like Everwild when it does release, if it does release.
Okay.
It might look like Cameo.
Oh God, it might look like Grab by the Ghoulies.
So
You're doing nuts and bolts. Please don't.
So yeah, let's talk about the reception for this. Basically, I think what their goal was to their goal is to sell you on the Xbox Series X, why you should buy this console. Now, that being said, John, do you think they accomplished that?
So I think I think that what they were really trying to sell is the Game Pass.
Okay.
Game Pass being a platform, I think is more. Again, this is just speculation. This is what I observed and my take on how they're approaching the next gen. I think their biggest priority is making Game Pass their platform of choice, and to get people playing their games on their PC, on their Xbox Series X, on their Xbox One, as opposed to the Series X being the primary focus. And I think I think this showcase did a better job of showcasing the attractiveness of Game Pass as a platform over their actual the Series X.
Okay. Josie?
Yeah, I think that this was supposed to be an Xbox Series X showcase, though.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
to add on to what John is saying, I understand that. See, that is their future goal. This is a stepping stone. The console is just a means to an end, and the end is literally Microsoft wants to become the Netflix of gaming. Now the problem is like Netflix, they and I'm saying Netflix like in the beginning, they are relying on other people's or other publishers' work in order to sell their game, in order to sell their what is it? Their environment, their platform, ecosystem. They're trying to sell that ecosystem, and they're not bringing enough Netflix originals, to use the metaphor, to really hammer down that you need to be on Xbox Game Pass to experience these games. Like you want to be on Xbox Game Pass. It's not only incredibly affordable, but it's where the games are. And this showcase did not bring it.
Yeah.
So and that's not just on Game Pass itself, but it's also on the Series X. The Series X is being touted as the fastest and most powerful console, and none of the games that they showed really highlighted that kind of performance capability. Now, I would say the PlayStation 5, even though they the announcement of the PlayStation 5 and their games, even though some of them were also cinematics, they were jaw-dropping graphically. Really good example is, I think, what was it called? Project Athia, the one from Square Enix?
Yeah. Project Athia.
Called. Yeah, Project Athia. That looked incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Ratchet and Clank, as cartoony as it is, you could tell that they were using all the graphics.
Horizon looked amazing.
For them to seamlessly move from world to world within gameplay, and all the particle effects. It was an impressive showcase of what the PlayStation 5 is capable of, and it was chugging along seamlessly.
Yeah.
It's things like that this Xbox showcase was sorely missing.
Yeah, no, I fully agree. And let's get into the biggest disappointment. Halo Infinite. So we're all Halo players here. We've all played Halo. We all love Halo. I have every single Halo game over there. um, and I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I saw some people who were like, "Oh, they're just harkening back to the older Halo games. They're trying to make it look like the older Halo games, bring back that nostalgia." But I want to say something here. That is BS, and the reason why that is BS is because from Halo 1 to Halo 4, they have graphically improved every single version of the game. It isn't until Halo 5 and this one that they're actually going backwards. It makes no sense. If you create a franchise and you improve the graphics every single iteration for like 6 games, don't you think your players are expecting that? It just doesn't make sense to me. The argument makes no sense to me. I mean, what do you all think about that?
I haven't heard that argument. I think I heard that argument in terms of gameplay, but not in terms of graphics. And even then, in terms of gameplay, there hasn't been enough improvement in order to even like look at it and be like, oh yes, I need to play this Halo game because they've changed so much.
Yeah.
Like one of the things that really caught my eye for Halo in terms of like the progression of Halo throughout the years was Halo 1 and Halo 2. They both came out on the Xbox.
Hmm.
And for the most part, aside from maybe like some dual wielding in Halo 2, they were kind of the same. Halo 2 expanded things, they made the multiplayer more robust, and that's why it's so revered. But Halo 3, when that one cinematic came out where Master Chief is just running and he stops and he throws that shield bomb down
Yeah.
and he's surrounded by that shield, introducing that new mechanic in a CG sequence, I was hyped. They showed me gameplay here, and the only new thing was a grappling hook. like I just it's such a step backwards. I have no interest in this Halo, and it looks so much like Halos of old that in some regards I can respect, in that maybe they're trying to say, hey, look, we messed up on Halo 4, we messed up on Halo 5. We're trying to show you that we can do Halo properly. So this is how it used to be done. We're doing it right. But they didn't improve beyond that to show us that they're good stewards of this property and they can take it forward. They've only taken it backward, like you said.
Yeah. John, what do you think?
Yeah, I have to agree with just about everything you guys said. Halo it's the gem in their crown. This is their flagship, arguably the most important flagship franchise that Microsoft has. And 343 Studios, this is their third attempt at making a Halo game that that pays homage to the series as a whole. And from what I've seen, like gaming moving into next gen, visually graphics have pretty much hit a maturation point. Graphics are great now. You look at the current crop of PlayStation 4 games and even the Xbox One games, they look amazing. So taking that next graphical leap, we're expected to see something a lot more enticing than what we saw at the Halo Infinite gameplay. And I didn't see anything in that gameplay footage that leads me to believe that this can't run on the current generation console. In fact, it looks worse than some of the best stuff that's out there right now.
Yep.
And that's just a shame. So what I did see yesterday, or maybe this morning, about this game is that footage was from an old build, which doesn't really kind of save this doesn't give them an excuse for putting out old content 4 months before release of the game. Like, why would you do that?
Yeah,
That
unless
sounds
they
like
were
marketing.
having issues.
It seems like something they're putting out there to kind of to detract from all the naysayers about this reveal.
It's like, hey, we've been building up to this showcase, and we just want to show you old footage because we have this platform that's opening up in November. At least we know that it's we in November. But hey, we just want to show you this old footage just to have footage out there. No. That's silly.
Yeah.
Yeah, which leads me to the conclusion that they probably had issues last minute. Why would you guys are completely right. Why would you show old footage? Doesn't make any sense.
And like Josie said, the only thing that we've seen as far as expanding the gameplay is the addition of a grappling hook, which in 2020 is not that new. We see grappling hooks in everything now. So they really had to do more to up the ante. And speaking of graphics, I saw a lot of pop in textures were just popping in. Textures look really simple. I saw mountains towards the end of the trailer when Master Chief is standing on a cliff and looking out at the vista. You can see a mountain clearly just pop in, and that's something that's just a little attention to detail that they should have taken care of before they put this out there in front of such a big audience.
I think that this is the price that's being paid for creating an open world Halo, and that's one of the reasons why I'm mostly disappointed in this game. Is this looks like Bungie with Destiny all over again? They've even said themselves that they're looking at a 10-year plan for this game. It just screams of games as a service.
Yeah, so they're not even looking at it as we're going to make this game the best version of this game on release. They're looking at it as, oh, no, we can fix that later.
Exactly. And then patch in or sell DLC for new story scenarios, what have you, just like Destiny.
Halo Infinite Money Pit.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And they didn't even, and here's the most egregious thing. They didn't even show multiplayer. There's people that just play Halo for multiplayer. I didn't. I love the multiplayer, don't get me wrong, but they didn't show multiplayer. That's why?
Yeah. No, I played the heck out of Halo multiplayer. I mean, I still do. I have the anniversary collection on my PC. So, yeah, I mean, as a huge Halo fan and somebody who just still plays it, the older versions, it's very disappointing to see. And I think you all brought up some great points, and I think that the need for them to stress that this game is going to be so great that you're going to need an Xbox Series X, it fell completely flat on its face. So,
well, not just that, but they also stated after the fact, I think it was in the same press release, that Halo Infinite was running off of a PC with similar specs to the Xbox Series X, which again, why?
yeah.
This is the Xbox Series X showcase.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah, so they didn't even showcase it on the system.
So here's the thing, and I love the Xbox 360. I enjoyed my Xbox. The Xbox One, unfortunately, hasn't been the best, but I do enjoy it for third-party games. And it's just unfortunate to see that, like how it started with the forced connect and online connectivity being required.
Yeah.
It's come a long way from that. But at the same time, Microsoft themselves, I feel like, hasn't really grown from that mindset in terms of looking at this showcase and looking at the initial showcase where, like, hey, you don't have a good internet? Buy an Xbox 360.
Yeah.
The showcase is like, hey, just wait a second. We're going to show the Xbox Series X, but this is an older build. Give us a break. You had all the breaks.
Yeah.
What were you doing getting ready for this? And not just that, not just the Halo. We really haven't spoken about it, but there was barely any gameplay in the hour-long showcase for a system that's supposedly coming 4 months down.
Yeah, yeah. It just it just failed. It just failed. I mean, the PlayStation 5 showcase was pretty good. You know, this
It was
one,
great.
Comparatively speaking,
yeah,
yes.
It was a gold standard.
yeah. So, yeah, I think it's just it's a shame to
Do you see a reason to get a Geo?
what?
Do you see a reason to get the Xbox Series X?
No, because
I mean, you sold your Xbox One.
yeah, I sold my Xbox One after I played Halo 5 and I was like, this looks worse than Halo 4. Like and I don't get it. I don't get what they're trying to do. It doesn't make any sense. Like you got to make the game look better. You just got to do it. That's what name one successful game franchise where they progressively make the graphics worse. I don't know of one.
And here's another thing, and this is just like to beat the dead horse, but the graphics, yes, but also the facial capture. If you have a team, Ninja Theory, a double A studio that makes incredible looking facial capture with Senua's Sacrifice / Senua's Saga, and your premier flagship Halo game can't match that or exceed it, something's really wrong.
Yeah, yeah, that it like they should be harnessing every single studio that they have to their advantage, especially for the flagship. Like John said, this is their flagship game. You know, it if one studio over here does facial expressions better, okay, use them for the facial expressions. If one studio over here does maps better, use them for the maps. Just use your resources wisely. They're not doing that.
They bought all these studios for what? For what?
Yeah, it's just a shame to see such a beloved franchise as Halo go down the drain like this. It really is. Now, who knows? Maybe it'll come out and it'll have an awesome story and it'll have great gameplay. You're shaking your head no. Um, I'm not because
So John and I watching the showcase, Alana Pierce during the pre-show was like, "I want this to have an amazing story," and I was like, I told John, I was like, "Hold your horses, Alana. Let's get the gameplay right first,
yeah,
because they
yeah,
haven't nailed it in Halo 4 or Halo 5,
no,
and I think everything else will come. Granted, it should already have these amazing things, but they haven't been able to bring it. So obviously they need to get at least one thing right before they can get to the next.
yeah, yeah. I mean, isn't Bungie are so I know Bungie works on Destiny, but I mean, what like is it impossible to bring them back into the fold for Halo? I mean, I were so many bridges burned that they just can't ever work on it again. That's what I'm wondering. Because
I, I think so. I think they're happy working on Destiny 2 and their various DLC, and then presumably leading into Destiny 3 at some point. 343 Microsoft has put in their eggs in the 343 basket as for now. And as much as we were disappointed by this game, we'll know when the final product comes out,
yeah,
right? If this was indeed an old build of the game, and and the game turns out to be better than what it looks to be, um, maybe there's. And I'm playing the marketing guy here.
yeah,
So maybe maybe the game isn't as bad as it looks. Only time will tell. But it did not leave a good first impression. I think we can all agree to that.
yeah,
For such a storied franchise, it's aimed that make Halo great, like it used to be, and it's just not there anymore.
no, you're right. You're right. It's a shame.
As far as like the other, there was a significant lack of quote unquote bangers in this presentation as compared to Sony's presentation, where game after game just reinforced the fact that this is a worthy upgrade to the PlayStation 4.
Yeah,
And this is something that I want to get, if not in the launch day, then certainly the launch window. Series X hasn't done that yet.
No. And I also heard from a friend of mine who said that this is just a rumor, but he said it's that he heard that Capcom might be working on a new game for Microsoft. And it's like, okay, if that's true, why not make a screenshot and throw it up there? Like, put everything you got. Pick the best of what you got, even what you got coming. You can make a small trailer. You don't have to have a full version of the game. You know, look at what From Software does. They have 5-second trailers, you know, and people are
Dude, that Sekiro reveal when it was just him like tuning his arm, and you're like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
And we didn't know what it was until
Elden Ring. Elden Ring. I mean, like it's what the trailer's like 10 seconds or something. I don't know. Do something.
I'm just disappointed.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm disappointed, and I think that whoever's at the helm, if it's Phil Spencer or whomever, like really look at your own content. Are you really proud of it? Like, come on, man.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think you're right. I feel like they're deluding themselves somehow. Like they're, you know, like they're not being honest about like, hey guys, so I just realized, why do our games suck? You know?
Why don't we have any gameplay in this game showcase?
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay.
One game that did show gameplay and that I'm actually interested in, The Medium.
The Medium. Okay.
The Medium is a survival horror game with a like genius like worlds at the same time. I forget. I don't know how they're saying it. Do you know? Do you remember, John? Dual reality.
Yeah, dual reality, concurrent worlds or something.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like
go forward a little bit more. They're going to show gameplay. They actually show gameplay.
Okay. So it's kind of like Silent Hill.
Yes.
It has the same vibe for sure.
Yes.
Interesting.
And I think I speak for all of us. We all love the survival horror genre. So a new entry in that genre is cool with me.
Yes. I agree.
Yeah,
I'll say that.
Yeah, that's gameplay right there.
Yeah, this does look pretty cool.
Josie and I were talking about this during the presentation. The game that looks most next gen out of what they showed was a game with the most generic name, Crossfire X. Like ironically, it looked the most next gen ready, as opposed to even something like Halo.
But it also looks as generic as it sounds.
Yeah.
Crossfire X.
Generic military man.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I just think they did a poor job organizing it. They didn't have what they needed to impress people, so it is what it is.